Hello! So after studying what like terms are, what the coefficient of each term is, what variables are, what variable expressions are, let's talk about now simplifying variable expressions, okay? Now I'm going to show you simplifying variable expressions using algebra tiles. I know you've seen a video where you had pictures of the tiles. I want to show you another resource which is online and you'll find a link to it. And you can always use this resource. So let's get started. Okay, the other day I tried making this video and apparently it did not show up. So I just took a whole bunch of screenshots. You can access this website. There's a link on the Schoology page, but basically it's at the CPM website, which is the company that makes your textbook. So if you want to know how to get there and you can't figure it out, just ask and I will show you how. So if you notice here on the left, there's a bunch of algebra tiles and I have a blank slate. I wrote an algebraic expression that I want to simplify. You unfortunately can't draw on it when you're using your iPad. I took a screenshot and drew on it there. And it's not working when I try to drag the tiles over while I'm recording this video. So I made a screenshot. But basically all you do is touch each tile and drag it over. So if you notice up here, this says 3x squareds. So I would drag 3x squareds over. And then it says 4x's plus 2. And then when it says a negative x squared, what you do is you drag over an x squared and then you tap it and it turns negative. So the red ones are negative. So let me show you what that's going to look like. Alright, so this is what it looks like after I've dragged the tiles over. And now it's kind of like the ones you've been doing in your textbook where you just have a whole bunch of tiles on your table and you combine like terms together. Here's the thing though. Remember, I think all the ones that you had in your textbook, they were all positives. Now we can have zero pairs. Look, a positive and a negative x squared is 0. Another positive and a negative x squared is 0. A positive 1 and a negative 1, that's 0. So what we have left here would be 1x squared. And remember, you don't need that 1 there. I just put it there. Plus, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 x's plus 1. That would be my final answer after this expression is simplified. There's only one place where the x squareds are, one place where the x's are, and one place where the constant term is. Okay, let's try another one. All right, same thing. So now this time though, this is really important. And a lot of you, hopefully, after some of you took that quiz like 10 times, were able to notice that if there's a minus in front of a variable term, think of it as a negative. And let me just show you again why. If I was doing 5 minus 3, isn't that really the same as 5 plus negative 3? And the deal is I can rearrange what I'm adding. So I could make that then negative 3 plus 5 and it doesn't change the order. Okay? So that's one reason I want to think of them as negatives instead of leaving the minus sign there. So the minus sign has to go with the 3 if I rearrange it. Okay? So let me just get rid of that here. Now when I drag these over, so when I drag over the 3 x's, I'm going to make them 3 negative x's. Now look at the right. I'm going right to subtraction right away. Check this out. This is really important here, guys. If there is a minus sign in between two parentheses, before I just showed you 5 minus 3, and I made it 5 plus negative 3. Remember, keep, change, change. I'm going to do the same idea with this expression up here. See the parentheses? So when I think of keep, I'm going to keep all of this the same. I'm going to change my subtraction to addition, and then I'm going to change all the signs inside my next parentheses. So that means this 2 right now is a positive 2. I'm going to make it negative. This 5 is a plus 5. I'm going to make it a negative. This 3 is a minus 3, I'm going to make it positive. So now it's easy because now I have addition and now I can just add, basically I'm just adding all of these terms to my picture so I can see what happens. So here's what it looks like when I then add them. Okay, so If I get rid of 0 pairs, look, I've got 2x squareds and a negative 2x squareds. They're gone. And that is the only 0 pairs that I have. So my final answer then would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, negative 8x's plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ones. So that would be my final answer. And if you looked up here, check it out, I had negative 3x's plus negative 5x's. So negative 3 plus negative 5 is negative 8. Again, another reason that I really was trying to stress you guys, if there's a minus in front of a number, think of it as a negative. All right, this one is a plus in the middle, so we're good. I just need to bring that's what it looks like when my tiles come over. And then I only see one 0 pair. There's a positive 1 and a negative 1, and I'm just going to combine them. So I've got 5x squareds plus, now you know what, I wrote a plus there. Let's say plus negative 5x plus negative 1. That is a perfectly correct answer. However, a lot of times what teachers or people that are just used to algebra will do, instead of saying plus negative 5, we'll just say minus 5. And instead of a plus negative 1, we'll just say minus 1. Because remember, it's the same thing. When my x's are negative, it's really like subtracting the 5x's. Okay? All right, look up top again. I'm going to use a different color, and let me show you. So if I didn't have the tiles or you don't feel like going to this website, check it out. This plus in the middle, I don't really need the parentheses because there's nothing for me to do inside them. It's addition, so it's all good. But if I go through, I can circle my x squareds, and they're both positive. So 4 plus 1 is 5. That's where I got this. And then negative 2 plus negative 3 is negative 5. And let's pick a different color. Positive 1 plus negative 2 is negative 1. So check it out. That is another way that we can add like terms or simplify a variable expression without drawing it or without using this website. Let's try another. Okay, so what I would like is for you guys to try this. So I want you to pause it, and the first thing that I want you to do when you pause it is to change it to an addition problem. Think of keep, change, change. Change it to an addition problem. If you want to just try and see if you get the right answer right away, go for it. So on a piece of paper, write down this expression, change it to an addition problem so it's easier to work with, and then see if you can simplify it. If you need to, you can bring up this website. There's a link on Schoology, or you can try it without. Okay, so go ahead and pause and play again when you're ready. Okay, so hopefully when you change it, remember, I'm going to keep everything there the same. I'm going to change this to an addition problem, but in order to change it, I need to change everything inside. So basically, I'm not really changing the problem. I am just rewriting what it looks like. So that 4 was a positive. It's now a negative 4. The 2 was a positive. It's now a negative. And the 8 is a negative, so that's now a plus. Notice I only did one mark each time. Okay, here's what it did. Getting rid of my 0 pairs, and one of these and one of these. So your final answer would be negative x squared, and if you have the 1 there, that's okay, minus x, and if you have plus negative 1x, that's okay too, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, plus 13. Final answer. If I did it the other way like I was explaining, look, positive 3x squareds, negative 4x squareds. 3 plus negative 4 is negative 1. Positive 1x, remember that's a 1 there, and negative 2x. 1 plus negative 2, negative 1. And then positive 5 minus, plus 8, there's a plus there, is 13. So there's my final answer. Okay, here's one without parentheses. You know what? That's okay. It's the same exact thing. Let me show you without building the tiles over. I could go through and let's circle all of my x terms. When I circled it, you notice this one, I made sure to circle the minus in front of the 4, so I didn't mess that up. Same with the 6. I circled the minus in front of that. So negative 4 plus negative 4, that's negative 8, plus negative 6 is negative 14. So I have negative 14x's. And then I've got 6 ones plus 7 ones, so that's 13. And that leaves me with just a 3x squared, so it's going to be plus 3x squared. Now, it doesn't really matter which order we put them in, so that would be perfectly fine. If I had built it, that's what it would look like if you built it, and then you could just combine like terms that way as well. Okay, so now I would like you to do these problems. Again, you don't have to build it if you don't want to, but you can write these problems on your paper. Go to the website if you would like, and you can drag the tiles over to give you an idea. Don't forget, in this last one here, it's a subtraction problem, so you might want to change it to adding the opposites. So pause it, try these problems, and then come back when you're done and see if you were right. Okay, so check your answers. I know I have a lot of work there because I circled like terms basically with the same color. If you got any of these wrong and you don't know why, please make sure that you ask for help, okay? Let's move on to a couple more. Okay, so go ahead and try these. The first two, there's no parentheses, that's okay. You still combine like terms. Number 6, again, make sure you take care of that subtraction before you start doing it. So go ahead, pause it, try these, and see if you are correct. All right, so here are these answers. Things I want to point out to you in number 5, there were A's and B's, and there were really only 2 like terms there. The 3AB and the 2AB were the only ones that were like terms, so those are the only ones that we could combine together. Everything else we just need to write down. And then in the last one, again, we had a positive 2a squared and a negative 2a squared. They totally cancel out, so I don't write anything. So there's no a squareds there, okay? All right, so you just got to take your time and just remember what you know about like terms, same variables with the same exponents. Remember, if there's a minus in front of a coefficient, think of that as a negative. And if you have a minus in between 2 parentheses, make sure you change it to addition and then change all the signs so that it's easier, so that it's in addition, so that it's in addition form, so it's easier to think about. I believe this is all that I have. If you didn't get some of these right and you're not sure, ask for help. You should have written all of these down on a piece of paper, so I want you to take a picture and submit them so I know that you did it.